and Thanos is saying, like, I will teleport directly to Magus with a small strike, a direct assault. And Cap's like, yeah, and with who? And Thanos tells him, only me and Drax. Huh, Rusty? Hey everyone, welcome back to Northman Reviews. And here we go with Infinity War. We're at issue number 5 now. Oh shit, I forgot to mark my place. Where am I? How embarrassing. Oh, there we are. Infinity War number 5. Yeah, this story's ramping up. It's, things and stuff are going on, and it's very important, and world ending, and all sorts of perilous whatever. Jesus, like, this is a thick book, right? Not only did they put 6 issues of the Infinity War, they put a bunch of backstories from whatever that, I don't know if I can. Anyways, it's like right in the crease. Like, you can't see fucking Magus right here, right? But anyways, Magus is the big bad. He's doing all sorts of crazy shit in the Marvel Universe. He's fucking around with Galactus. Adam Warlock and the Infinity Watch had a big battle with Earth's mightiest heroes and X-Men Fantastic Four and all that. It was pretty awesome. Doppelgangers running amok, fighting people, whatever, doing all sorts of crazy shit, right? It's been kind of interesting, but they got away from, like, what I felt the interesting shit was at the beginning with the doppelgangers taking over and infiltrating the Marvel Universe. Iron Man and Mr. Fantastic did it, was part of that, and then they just kind of dropped that, and now it's just all about the Magus and his crazy, Marvel cosmic storylines and science fiction shit that can get kind of confusing, especially if you're not terribly familiar with the characters, which at the time I wasn't. Eternity and Living Tribunal and Galactus and Adam Warlock and all these guys. You're like, as a kid, I was aware of them from Infinity Gauntlet, but from that and this, you're just like, who are these guys and what's going on with some of this shit? So, the Magus had some kind of power. Like, he was really powerful. People couldn't figure it out, and I think it was revealed in this last issue that it was a cosmic cube. It was like several cosmic cubes from different realities. Oh my god, where is it? I think Dr. Doom and fucking Kang the Conqueror discovered that. Somewhere, somehow. There it is. Jesus Christ. Yeah, bunch of different cosmic cubes, even though, like, they're all not fucking cubes, obviously. And each one has, like, wish-granting powers, I guess, and the Magus was able to harness 5 of these. So it's almost on par with the Infinity Gauntlet, but not quite. So we're trying to figure out, like, what the Magus wants. And the Magus is a weird, like, evil version of Adam Warlock. He's a futuristic version also. It's also very confusing. But in the last issue, Adam Warlock got captured by the Magus because they tried to get the Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, big story point. Infinity Gauntlet doesn't work. They tried putting all the gems together because they had spread them apart amongst the Infinity Watch, so they couldn't be used. And they put them all together to use the Infinity Gauntlet to stop Magus, but because of a ruling done by the Living Tribunal and from Eternity's request, the gems could not be worked in unison again. That was done in Adam Warlock and the Infinity Watch #1. My brother Rob did a video on that. It was really interesting. Go check that out on his channel. But they said that gems couldn't be used together, right? So they tried to use it, and it didn't work. But then Magus captured Adam Warlock while he had the gauntlet. So Magus now is in possession of the gauntlet, even though it doesn't work. So, back in space, wherever the fuck they're at, the Avengers are with Thanos here, and Thanos is like kind of trying to take over. or he's just trying to like get the job done. He's barking orders to the Avengers, but they don't trust him. They're like, "Fuck you, dude. You don't get to tell us what to do. No one thinks what any idea you have is a good one." And something is going on Earth. Much like eternity is in a weird catatonic state, Earth and all its inhabitants are as well, except for Sleepwalker here. There's a Deathlock. Here's Guardians of the Galaxy. My brother Rob also did an issue, like several issues of Guardians of the Galaxy, I think in one video, and he pointed out, he highlighted the issue, there was a crossover in this. So now this makes sense. I'd always wondered, why the fuck would it show these guys here when they're in the future? But it makes sense. They came in the past to help one of their buddies. Is this not the most 90s page, like at least for Marvel, the most 90s page? Deathlock, Guardians of the Galaxy's this version, and Sleepwalker. Like, these are all like 90s characters that came and went and, you know, haven't really been seen since. There's Sandman, Silver Sable, and there's a Nomad. He was a big thing in the 90s also, right? So they're all weirdly catatonic, and the Earth is like kind of phase shifted into two different ones. I don't know. Uatu the Watcher, who, you know, his vow, you know, I cannot interfere with anything, so I'm just gonna be a looky-loo. And Thor are checking it out. Galactus was using Thor to send information through his enchanted hammer in some bullshit way, who knows, to get information. So Thor's like, what the fuck am I doing here? Now this Thor, side note, you know, with the beard and all that, is the Eric Masterson Thor. Eric Masterson was just a human dude who was kind of running around with Thor, kind of like a mini sidekick. And Thor, the real Thor Odin's son, killed Loki, and Odin punished Thor by banishing him and giving his power to Eric Masterson. So this Thor is just like a regular dude. He doesn't talk like Thor. Nay, say thee nay, these atrocities, I shalt, you know, all that kind of stuff. He's just a guy. He's like, I got a feeling my friends are going to need my power back there. I really like this character. I grew up reading this character, and I think I'm going to do a big series highlighting this character just because I want to, because I thought it was a really interesting story. Anyways, that's this version. If people are like, what's up with Thor here? So anyways, oh, there's a doppelganger Thanos. He looks like the regular Thanos. You can tell the difference between, because this one doesn't have his glove, because he gave it to Adam Warlock right there, right? But this isn't like a crazy demonic doppelganger. It's just a regular, it's basically an exact duplicate clone that he's used for reasons. So they captured Adam Warlock and they swipe away his Infinity Gauntlet, and he's like, all according to my plan. I need the gauntlet. It's like, yeah, but you're fucking stupid. The gauntlet's useless. The Living Tribunal saw to that. Infinity Gems could never be used again Infinity Gems could never again be used in unison. We know, Adam Warlock. I just said that. Weren't you paying attention? But Magus is like, yes, but any judicial ruling is subject to review. So basically he's saying like, yeah, he said that, but it's not going to stay that for long. All that's required is patience. And also, Doctor Doom and Kang the Conqueror have been kind of doing their own thing, kind of a side plot. Nothing, you don't really think much of these two, except that they're trying to discover the power and they want it for their own, right? So they've been kind of tracking around stuff, hiding from Galactus, and they've infiltrated the Magus's lair, because now they know what's going on. So they're working together, but they're secretly plotting against each other's backs. It's kind of a funny thing where they're like, yes, Kang, like, you are my comrade, but then word thought bubbles are like, but I'm going to fucking kick you in the head when you're not looking, kind of a thing. So they're both plotting each other's downfall. It says right here, because, you know, Magus wants the Infinity Gauntlet restored to full power, and Kang is like, but before that happens, we must ensure that it is Doom and Kang's Infinity Gauntlet. But thought bubble, no, just make that just Kang's. So these guys are here. They're going to try and muck up Magus's plans. Meanwhile, back in Galactus's ship and wherever the fuck they're at, they get the Psychics, Psylocke, Jean Grey, Professor X, and Moondragon. And Nova here is like hooks them up to Galactus's technology. But this is funny. She says here, I've linked Professor X, Moondragon, Psylocke, and Marvel Woman. Has Jean Grey ever been called Marvel Woman ever? I mean, she was Marvel Girl, right, when she first started, and now she's not a girl, she's a woman. So that kind of makes sense. But, you know, she never developed that moniker. It was always Jean Grey or Phoenix or Marvel Girl. I mean, Marvel Woman makes sense. Like Wonder Woman, Marvel Woman. I'm kind of surprised Marvel hasn't jumped on that. Do they have Marvel Man? They should just have Marvel Man. So anyways, Professor X has a plan, and using the telepaths here, they're trying to link all the minds on Earth and do a telepathic resistance and try and shock them out of this catatonic state that they're in. Ron, again, side note, I forgot to mention at the beginning, Ron Lim is the artist, and he's putting in some fucking work, dude. Him and George Perez, those guys can like draw multiple people, multiple characters. So it's no surprise that they got these two to do Infinity Gauntlet. George Perez did the first like 3 issues, and then Ron Lim took over for the last in Infinity Gauntlet. I wonder if that was planned, or George Perez was just like, you know, I can't do the rest, or if he had other things to do. I know he did a lot of stuff with DC. I don't know, whatever. But Ron Lim, man, he's been having to draw so many characters, so many faces, so many big group shots, fighting, all that kind of stuff. I can imagine it'd be exhausting, right? So he's putting in the work. And Jim Starlin is the writer, right? So he did Infinity Gauntlet. He did a lot of stuff in the cosmic universe with Silver Surfer and all that in Marvel. Anyways, so that's what the telepaths are trying to do. And Thanos had a plan, especially once Adam Warlock was captured and the Infinity Gauntlet didn't work. He's like, okay, we gotta just destroy Magus, and the way we do that is with the ultimate nullifier. Yeah. So he chose Quasar. I don't know much about Quasar. I do like the design of him. He went through a couple of different designs. I always liked this one. He used to be like a dude in a mask, with the eyes and the mouth cut out and his hair out. It was kind of more bluish. I like this design better, especially with like the space in his cape. It's kind of like a eternity thing. His body is space. Quasar kind of has the same thing. I think it's a cool looking design. And he got the quantum bands, whatever those do. Those give him his power. But he basically said, okay, Quasar, you're going to take this ultimate nullifier, which was the weapon that scared off Galactus, could destroy Galactus, because it ultimately nullifies everything. Get it? And he's like, you're going to have to be the one to do this, but in doing so, it's also going to kill Quasar. So it's a suicide run. Thanos is sending him on. Captain America, Hercules, and the Avengers, they're like, don't fucking do it. Thanos is just using you, but it might be the only way. So while Captain America is fucking around, Wonder Man's like, dude, he's sending Quasar off. And before Cap can get back there, he goes through this portal. Good luck to you, warrior, Thanos says. And he's like, you're too late, dipshit. He's done what departed to do what must be done. So Quasar's here, and this is Magus's a stronghold, or his lair, whatever you want to call it. And he's like, well, it's showtime. Now he's trying to, like, do I get closer? How should I do this? Like, he didn't just go and press the button. He's kind of like, it's a suicide run. If you're going to do even saving the universe, you having to kill yourself, you're going to take a second. Thanos is pissed. Like, why is he hesitating? Only fools rush in. And Vision, White Vision version, the white version of Vision here is saying maybe the activation sequence is kind of difficult. We don't know anything about this. Thanos is just pissed. He's like, oh, hey, Rusty. Rusty was laying right next to me, and he rolled over and fell off the table. Rusty, come back here. Say hi to everyone. Rusty. Rusty. Come here. Yeah, hey, buddy. Come here. Yeah. Oh. Here's Rusty the cat. Say hi, everyone. He used to be part of my videos for so long, and then he just kind of stopped. And now he's back. I always get pissed at him. Now I'm like, buddy, come back here. Now I'm pissed at him again. Just kidding. Who's a good boy? Anyways, where was I? Thanos is pissed. And he's like, why is that guy not doing what he's supposed to do? And then he's already coming up with a backup plan in case, like, Quasar isn't able to do what he needs to do. And Thanos is saying, like, I will teleport directly to Magus with a small strike, a direct assault. And Cap's like, yeah, and with who? And Thanos tells him, only me and Drax. Huh, Rusty? Okay, let's take a moment. You little shit. He likes to wake up my wife and I way early just by coming into our bedroom and meowing loud. Meow, meow, meow. And I know you have food. I know you do. So he says Drax and myself, and Drax is like, fuck yeah. Smash Magus, then Thanos. And, they're debating it, and they're saying, like, yeah, but if Thanos succeeds, then he gets the power, and Drax wouldn't be able to handle Thanos on his own. And Captain America's like, yeah, we're all coming, or no one goes. It's not open to debate. And Thanos is like, okay, Cap, whatever you say, but he's, like, smiling behind Captain America, when he turns his back. So, like, Thanos is up to something, right? Of course he is. But Magus and the doppelganger Thanos is able to, they know of everything that's going on. They got cameras everywhere, somehow. They know what's going on with Galactus. They know what Thanos is planning. They are unaware, he is unaware, of Kang and Doctor Doom, though. And Doom is saying, like, he's so powerful, how can he not be aware of us? And Kang says, he is so absorbed in his own work, he's failing to even look for us because he doesn't know we're here. We are not part of his plan. He hasn't spotted us because he isn't looking for us. A fatal flaw in his design. So he didn't even think, out of all his stuff, he didn't think of Doctor Doom and Kang potentially. I mean, Doom recruited Kang from the future, but I don't know, man. You got to think of Doctor Doom, right? It's kind of a big deal. So then Magus here basically tells what his kind of ultimate goal was, which was, through this whole story, to get his hands on the Infinity Gauntlet and manipulate people like a chessboard. It doesn't say that exactly. I'm sure he did somewhere in this series. To get all the pieces in place for the Infinity Gauntlet to be in his possession and for the Infinity Gauntlet to work. I used Thanos to get the ball rolling. Through him, most of the secondary players were set into motion. Galactus was needed for his naked might and cosmic prestige. Like, you can't just go in and ask, like, Eternity and Living Tribunal for anything. You need someone on the power level of Galactus for these guys to even, like, talk to you, Plus, how do you get into this weird white void wherever they're at? Earth's defenders were thrown in just to kind of muddle everything up and confuse everything, and your task was to bring me the Infinity Gauntlet. So everything the Magus did was to get the Infinity Gauntlet and for Galactus to make sure that they are working, because Galactus doesn't know that Adam Warlock was kidnapped. As soon as Galactus went to do this, Adam Warlock was taken, right? So here we have them here, Living Tribunal, in these big, mighty letters, talking to Galactus. And he brought Gamora with him, too. For reasons we'll see. And Eternity's just like, duh, what's going on here? It's kind of hard to read this, but he says, despite the peril that your universe is in, the Infinity Gems, my ruling is the Infinity Gems stand. He says, it was eternity who first brought this matter to my attention and whom I ruled in favor of. So it was eternity who wanted that, and Living Tribune was like, yeah, okay, let's do that. And the law set forth that only he may reverse that decision, and the fact that he is in a catatonic state has no bearing on the rule. So Galactus is like, so it's eternity himself I must plead to, and he's like, yep. But he zoned out, Gamora says. And Galactus is like, yeah, that's why I brought you. He says, I shall be the surgeon, you shall be the scalpel. And he zaps her with something, and his essence goes into her, a weird bonding, and then she jumps into eternity here. Go forth, woman warrior. This day you are a healer, your patient, all reality. So Galactus sends her off to do something, and I'm pretty sure one of these stories back here, yeah, here it is, with Gamora, shows what she's doing to do that. And it pisses her off. She's not happy about this, and I don't know what she does back here. It shows some of her past history with Thanos and her becoming the deadliest woman alive. And more stuff with her and her past. And then I only show this because it's going to come up later in this series. And it says here, to my utter shock, I discovered that it was not a soul entity Galactus and I revived. So she succeeds, but out of whatever shell or cage eternity was in, also it comes infinity. I have no clue who this is. I mean, infinity, I get it. Eternity, infinity. Different sides of the same coin. That's why Quasar couldn't locate her. Was he looking for her? I guess. And so she succeeds, right? And we're going to get back to that. So there's eternity, there's infinity. Anyways, back with this. Magus is, I'm evil and I'm fucking crazy, and no one knows who I am or where I'm at. So blah blah blah. Quasar can't get his toy to work. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just reading some of this. My bad. He can't get the. Oh yeah, that's right. He can't get the ultimate nullifier to work for some reason, and Magus says because he has some machines, electronics. He's masking, or he's making it so there's like a field emanating from his fortress that makes it so the ultimate nullifier doesn't work. Right? Weird Star Trek logic. So Adam Warlock, once Magus's back is turned, he's going to punch him in the back of the head and yell, "Soup can!" But out of nowhere, someone shoots at them, and it's Doom and Kang. This is a cool shot. I like how Adam Warlock is twisting and turning to see these guys. These guys, Doom and Kang are running forward. Cool action lines. Magus getting shot. Bunch of cool stuff. And what Warlock is thinking here is he knows who Doom is from the Infinity Gauntlet. He's not really sure who Kang is, but he instantly recognizes what their intent is. And it's not salvation. It's not there to help. They are here to take the power themselves. So, instantly, the situation is considered and a choice made, and Adam Warlock fights alongside Magus against these two. Which I don't know if that's a great idea, Warlock. You know, better to deal with the devil you know than the two who are strangers. I guess. I don't know. Comic book, storylines need to continue somehow. So he kicks Doom and grabs that. That's kind of a cool shot. Kang is going to shoot Magus, but he swings and punches him in the fucking face. These two are fighting back here. Magus smashes his face into the computer here. That's cool. And then he realizes the console is deactivated, the jamming signal. The ultimate nullifier is operational. So he's like freaking out. It could destroy us all, even me. And then he gets shot in the back by fucking Kang here. He backhands him. You fool! You foolish fools! I like this shot of Warlock just kicking Doom in the face. Alright, and back with Quasar, he's like, alright, it's time to do this thing. Gotta do it carefully. The destructive force in this baby is enough to make the Negabomb that destroyed the Kree Empire look like a firecracker. The Negabomb was a story in the 90s called Operation Galactic Storm, where the Kree and the Shi'ar Empire from the X-Men were at war with each other. And at the end, the Kree, there was a big bomb that it's the whole thing. But a Negabomb destroyed the Kree homeworld, right? Anyway, so that's why he says that there. I might look into the Operation Galactic Storm. I remember reading that as a kid, and I might showcase it here. Anyways, Magus punches fucking Kang into the console, and he flies off. He's like, his only hope is to reach the containment units and directly use the wish-granting powers for the cosmic cubes. Like, that's all he can do. Doom takes out Warlock here. That's cool. And Kang says, get after the purple one. He says, I will, but first, you know how they've been plotting behind each other's back? Doom is the one who gets the upper hand. And he's like, you've given me your last order, Kang. Unlike certain monarchs, Doom always pays his debts promptly, and he fucking does whatever to Kang. Kills him, vaporizes him, nothing is forever in the Marvel Universe. So Magus is running to the containment unit, and he has to reach it before Quasar can do his thing, but it's fucking destroyed. He's like, they're gone. Who could have done that? It was Doom and Kang. They found it last issue, and they put explosives on it. Somewhere. Enough, this is good enough. So he's like, uh-oh, here comes Dr. Doom. Blasts him in the back. Take that, Magus. Cool shot there. Meanwhile, Quasar activates the ultimate nullifier. He senses its power building. It's amping up. Have to concentrate on its target. Clear my mind of all thoughts except the Magus, because it could ultimately nullify everything around him. And mushroom out of control. So Doom is taking out Magus. That's also a cool shot. The shadows and everything. So as this is going on, Gamora comes out. She succeeded in her quest, and she's pissed off. Blast you, Galactus. You used me, she says. As I would anyone in order to save my reality. So get over it, lady. It's like, someday I'll make you pay for this humiliation. I swear I will. And he's like, yeah. Your Bruce ego is of no import in the moment. And he says, wake the fuck up, Eternity. Can you hear me? And it zooms in on Eternity to his eyes. Back with Warlock. He sees that Doom is gone. Where's Magus? The sound of Ray Blast. He comes zooming in. Flying in. There's Doom, ready to do his thing. Here comes Adam Warlock, going to take him from behind, but nope, Doom gets the upper hand on him as well, because Doom, kind of a big deal, blasts him, he falls down, and what happened to, and he says, the Infinity Gauntlet, hand it over now. All right, Doom, why don't you just shoot him in the fucking face and take it from him? So Magus slowly, because he says slowly, very slowly, takes it off and is going to hand it to him. Eternity, Living Tribunal, Galactus. And he says, he's coming out of it. Let the gems work as one. And then he collapses and faints. Eternity can just faint and falls on the floor of whatever they're in. And Living Tribunal, so be it. Flash of light. And this is which one's the green one? Is it the Soul Gem? Or, I don't know which one it is. But it turns on, I don't know. And someone's wielding it, and I just already, but it's Magus. He has it still. He didn't give it to Doom yet. So there he is, Magus in all his glory with the Infinity Gauntlet at full power. Doom is taken aback. Quasar is ready, and he's like, Magus, this is for you. And he presses the button or does whatever, and this is fucking emanating with power. And then he disappears. Quasar disappears. The nullifier falls into the hands of Magus. There he sits, triumphant. Infinity Gauntlet, ultimate nullifier. Adam Warlock crucified and captured. And he says, with but a thought, I turn the universe's most devastating weapon upon its bearer. So instead of nullifying everything here, it just nullified Quasar. So he's dead for a second. So here is just a couple of pages of Magus getting accustomed to godhood and the power at his command. All sorts of crazy shit. E equals MC squared. Time, space, the mind, the soul, reality, power. Every moment that ever was or will be cascades over me with time. I am wherever and everything with space, the mind, the thoughts of all beings mixed with my own. Soul, endless spirits wait for me to sculpt the clay of their essence. Reality, too much for me to even focus in on just yet. That's kind of a that's kind of a thing. Like, keep that in mind. And power, so much of it everywhere and all me. So more shit. He's fucking with Adam Warlock. They're going through time. They're going through space. They're doing through so much shit. And Adam Warlock is like, damn, man, the Magus is adapting to godhood much quicker than either Thanos or I did. Like, he's just like, oh, I'm a god now? I can deal with it. And so Nova's like saying, long range, back with the heroes, right? Avengers and all that. Long-range scanners show incredible energy fluctuation from within this target dimension. That means Galactus succeeded in his mission. The Infinity Gauntlet has been revitalized. So Thanos is like, there's only one desperate measure. There's no time to waste an argument. With every passing second, the Magus becomes more adept at wielding the awesome power he possesses. We must strike now while his confusion still burdens him. Thanos is like, I shall lead you. And Cap's like, no, don't bet on it. It's like, who then? You? And Cap's like, yes, we almost beat you when you had it. It's like, yeah, but that was a fluke. I geared down my power levels. It's like, yeah, sure, Thanos. But he's not wrong. Thanos did make it so he didn't know what, their next move was going to be an Infinity Gauntlet. But he still beat the fuck out of everybody. He's like, don't waste your breath. We're with you, dude. And he's like, let's go. So they open the portal straight through and spread out on the other side. And Thanos just watches them go. He's like, you dumb shits, you blind fools. They go out and there's all these doppelgangers, and I guess the colorist got tired or it was his day off or something. Boom, instant battle. And they are pissed. It's a trap. Captain America waltzes straight into it. They're waiting for us. Where's Thanos? They're all pissed off. Battle ensues. And Ron Lim is a good artist, and he's done some cool stuff, but I don't know, here, some of this stuff just isn't looking as good, and I don't know if has anything to do with an inker, or maybe he's just getting exhausted at some point. But I don't know, there's just some of these pictures that just don't look as good to me, to my eye, but maybe everybody else is like it. Look exactly the same. Anyways, these guys are fighting doppelgangers. Silver Surfer's finally here doing something. He's been doing nothing this whole series. Kind of a big deal in Infinity Gauntlet, not so here. And Thanos like, you dumbasses. Think I go over there with the bloody slaughter, so easily manipulated. He's like, the species will be better off without them. And he's like, they'll keep the Magus forces as busy out in the Stronghold's courtyard. And he's like, I'll reset the teleporter to deposit me outside the Magus' control room. He says he should still be vulnerable to an energy blast. I just have to move quickly. But then he is confronted by his evil doppelganger. He's like, how did you know I was going to do this? Because I'm you, stupid. It would have been the exact same thing I would have done. All right, so what now? And they're like, you possess data that I could find useful, and so could you. Let's team up. And they're like, yeah, okay. There's only one Infinity Gauntlet. I'm no idiot. Oh, excuse me. I'm no idiot. Real Thanos says. He's like, all right, no compromise, very well. And they have at thee, and they start fighting. And Magus, he's crazy. He's omnipotent now. And everything's fucked. And he tells Adam Warlock that. When you look into the abyss also looks into you, he says. The moment has come for me to eliminate my own personal abyss, which is Adam Warlock. So he's going to kill everything. Things are at their worst. The end of issue number 5. One issue to go in the Infinity War with number 6. We'll get to that in another video coming soon. Thank you all for watching. Fun series. Crazy shit. I will see you all in the next video.